And this is our next discussion, getting market access for organic food, Uganda's organic food in Chinese markets. As Uganda prepares to host the G77 countries plus China, we want to look at the business opportunities farmers can take advantage of that China offers, and none other than Chariton Namuwoza, the Chief Executive Officer at NOGAMU, to help us understand exactly how our farmers can navigate that landscape. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, my brother.
There has been a lot of anticipation in the run-up to the our hosting of the G77 plus China summit, and many Ugandans have been asking questions. First was, what do we benefit from the non-aligned movement summit? And then the questions now are, what does the G77 plus China offer Ugandans? Within the perspective of agriculture and innovations that are ongoing, NOGAMU stands to benefit and mostly offer what I call the bridge,
yes,
between Chinese markets, that is, and the Ugandan farmers. But particularly the thrust is on organic food. Yes. And that is very important to note. Take us through first what the G77 plus China means to you and the farmers, and then help us understand exactly what we shall be benefiting.
Thank you very much. First of all, to understand the G77 and NAM membership very well, let's look at the countries that form the G77 group plus China.
Yeah.
And those that are under the NAM, the non-allied movement. We're talking about 134 under the umbrella of the group 77 plus China, and we have about 120 under NAM. So we're talking about a very big group, more than half of the globe.
That is right.
Right here in Kampala. And that has a lot of implications. The first implication is that there are market opportunities. And if you look at the globe, if you look at the major areas where consumption of organic products takes place, and what triggers this consumption, the consumption trends, you'll actually see that there are emerging markets away from the EU and the US or That's America, which are the biggest markets.
And traditional ones.
China is a very big player, and it changes a lot in terms of consumption. It's an emerging superpower, if you like. We're talking about countries like India, Indonesia, and many others, most of which are in Africa and Asia. So these are countries that can give Uganda a lot of market opportunities for starters. Now, similarly, under NAM, 120 countries, we're talking about, again, half of the globe here in Uganda, and they also come with market opportunities. And when you look at the latest trends in the global organic markets, there are three major factors that drive consumption. And these factors apply in the EU, they apply in the US, but also are increasingly becoming important in China and these other emerging markets. So if Uganda is to increase her market share of the global demand for organic products, then we have to target the emerging markets, even as we continue deepening our relationships with the EU and the US. So what do we have to do as a country to be able to tap into these market opportunities? There is a lot we can do. We have consistently had our production fall below demand. There is a lot more demand than
that we can
supply. So the implication is that we have to scale up our production, and that goes with increasing the access to inputs. We're talking about organic inputs, which are already here. Most of these inputs are being manufactured in the country. We have over 15 companies now that are manufacturing a whole range of inputs, fertilizers, pesticides, fungicides, even probiotics for animals and poultry and all the others. The other opportunity that comes with the G77 plus NAM is the investment opportunities. When you look at the organic industry in Uganda and Africa at large, there are investment opportunities at all nodes of the value chain, from input, manufacturing. As you know, we still import. We are a net importer of inputs. So by scaling up our production, local production of inputs, investing in that particular area, we would be guaranteeing increased supply of these organic inputs. So there is an investment opportunity there. The other investment opportunity, of course, relates to production, as I already highlighted.
That's right.
We have a lot of land. Uganda has 40% of East Africa's arable land. So there is a lot of land that you know, can be put to production and therefore increase our production. Then we are talking about investment opportunities, of course, at the farm level, then trading or bulking, warehousing. We are talking about exporting. You know, we have export businesses, but I can assure you, when you put everything that they are trading, it's a very small portion of what we should be, exporting.
Be able to.
So there are investment opportunities all over. But it also means that we can have different ways of approaching the market. Where, for instance, companies that are importing can team up with companies in Uganda, form joint ventures, and push different fronts.
I was just about to ask that question. There was the East African Trade and Investment Summit that was held just the other day as a precursor for the non-aligned movement Heads of State Summit. And the idea was to identify specific partnerships that should drive the collaborations and how we deal with many of the countries that are attending these events, and especially for China's case. Our trade with China has largely been in the informal or SME sector, especially when it comes to importation of many of the products that you find in downtown Kampala. At the level of agriculture, agro-processing, that is where we need to see deliberate effort. And I don't know whether NOGAMU, that is your organization, and many others are crafting out some sort of platform that should create the kind of bargaining power that is needed in order for you to be heard, but most importantly taken serious.
Yeah, we we offer a lot of services, especially to different actors along the value chain, and processors are some of the key actors in the organic value chains, because they add value to the vast materials that are produced by our farmers. They provide the infrastructure, they invest in the different aspects of processing. So we team up with these companies. We identify these different companies that have the capital, and showcase the opportunities that lie in establishing factories or manufacturing facilities for value addition. I'll give you an example. About 3 years ago, after COVID or before thereabout, we engaged a company that needed to get into the organic market with value-added products. And this is a company that did not have any experience in processing. They do not have any experience in getting the, let's say, the processing facility certified. So we had to work very closely with them, of course, together with other actors, researchers and others. And they brought in state-of-art, technology. When they imported it from Italy, and it's being right now it processes mango, passion fruit, pineapple, and they are processing it into pulp and concentrate. And when you look at the ratio of fresh to processed. It's really interesting how much goes into these kind of facilities. So we encourage investors to establish processing facilities, but more than that, we also build certifiable quality management systems at that level, because to sell in the organic market, you need evidence of certification, and that comes with a robust quality management system against which certification is offered. Which is designed to meet the specific standards that the market requires. Exactly. So we engage with these companies, take them through the whole process of certification and facilitate the process of certification. And then, of course, we link them to the market. So you can see there are three areas where we partner with them. First of all, in identifying appropriate technologies, and number two, working them through the process of certification and establishing the requisite certification systems, and then going an extra mile to link them to different markets. I'll give you an example. This particular company is exporting to the Middle East, but also to the EU, and now with concentrate to the US. And China is on the list of those target countries. Help me understand the dynamics with regard to organic and modified products or foods, for that matter. Many markets across the globe, and given China's exponential growth of its middle class, you wouldn't expect them to be demanding organic fruits or foods at the level that is projected or suggested. When it comes to GMOs, most of the West and now emerging markets are huge consumers of GMOs, and here we are, for us, we are selling organic and still grappling some aspects, especially when it comes to quality. How do we navigate the international market that is set like that, and we are disadvantaged? It's actually not true that you know, the globe, the world is into GMOs. Help me about that. Let me first, put it correctly. The production of GMOs, much as it's being pushed by, of course, the proponents of GMOs, it's still very low. It's a perception thing. It has faced a lot of resistance for a lot of fears and many concerns relating to the safety of these products, and it's a huge debate which sometimes I avoid, especially if we are talking about a specific subject. No, that, I don't want to take you in there. But let me give you an impression. We have a lot of production across the globe that is skewed, if you like, towards conventional and of course with organic becoming more important, increasingly more important. But when you look at the issues that come with conventional production, and GMO is one of those technologies, there are growing concerns from consumers about food safety. How safe are these products? And a lot of research has been conducted to show that they are not actually safe. We have concerns around, of course, health with food safety related, but concerns around climate change and environment. That's right. These other production systems do not pay attention to the requirements of, responsible and sustainable environmental management. Organic agriculture does. Issues around, social concerns. How much of the sales proceeds actually trickle down to the farmers? How are you treating the workers on the farm? How are you treating the women that have given birth? That's right. Are you giving them time to heal? Have you given them, maternity leave and all these things? Do you allow them to go and breastfeed their babies? So these social concerns, together with health or food safety, plus environmental issues, are increasingly becoming important. And when you look at the whole world, this is where we are going, because even in Uganda, look at the emerging or mushrooming outlets labeled organic. Supermarkets that are stocking organics, Carrefour, capital shoppers. And these supermarkets, interestingly, are also importing from outside Uganda. And that tells you how Ugandans are increasingly becoming, you know, conscious about these issues.
All right.
So these are the trends, and they define the consumption patterns, and of course they have an impact on the demand, the overall demand.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mr. Namuwoza, these and many other conversations around aspects of trade and investment and improvements, especially within agriculture, are conversations that cannot be tackled entirely in any one single interview. But allow me ask you to wrap this up, especially in light of the G77 and what happens thereafter.
Yeah. As an organization, and just to tell the viewers out there that the National Organic Agriculture Movement of Uganda is the voice and leader of the organic industry in Uganda, but I'm also privileged to be the president of the African Organic Network. Okay. So we're talking about the greater, you know, Africa, and we got to do everything possible to take advantage of these opportunities that come with huge summits such as these.
That's right.
The NAM, the IGAD, and now G77, you know, unfolding. And as Ugandans, we've got to engage strategically in terms of, you know, establishing trading relationships, you know, farm trading partnerships with business organizations or companies out there. Yeah. And we have comparative and competitive advantages in the area of organic agriculture with the conducive climate. You know, soils, though deteriorating in fertility, can easily be, you know, fixed in terms of, you know, the macro and micronutrients that are required. Okay. And there is a huge, you know, area in Uganda that is still not being utilized. We can put this to use and make every effort to push the different fronts in the different markets.
All right. Thank you very much, Chariton Namuwoza, Chief Executive Officer at NOGAMU, for sharing your perspective on what is no doubt a very important development as far as Uganda's agricultural sector is concerned. Do stay with us. We shall go for a break. When we return, our Kickstarter discussion will be delving into the Oscars and what is propelling Uganda's films on the international stage. Do stay with us.